house, first of all, as we all know, an entryway is a first impression, and it kind of sets the tone for what you're going to experience hospitality-wise and style-wise and everything as you head into your home. And for us, the entryway of the house was something that was one of the first things we really wanted to change. I mean, we've always loved this house from the second we saw it, but we really didn't feel it had sort of the grand nature that it really deserves for its place in history in this town, but also just for how beautiful the home is on the inside and the amazing land it has. We really didn't feel like the how you encounter the space when you first see it and how you encounter the home when you first see it lived up to what it really could be. So we had to apply to do a wraparound porch and had to decide and define exactly how historical we wanted that to be. And then we really wanted to make sure that the entryway and the steps leading up to the entryway just kind of had a very, yes, historical, elements of the historical history.
You didn't even have any.
Some elements of the history of the home, but also, that kind of, that had like a kind of chic, it just kind of blended old and new. So when we were talking about it with Prudence, she had some really great ideas for kind of updating that experience and that space.
Yeah. It's a very unique space. It's small and it isn't the grand entry that you'd want. So we wanted to create that, but in the scale that was appropriate. And we did that through a couple things. One was the beautiful gas sconce lighting by the front door, which is really unique and I think true to the nature of the home, being such a historic home. But number two, the gorgeous gray door. And then as you come in, the uniqueness of the hand chair being your entry table. It could have fit a little round table, but I think, you and Kyle and your family are so unique and you have such a great sense of style that having a surprising element there to greet everyone was important. And once I saw that chair, I was like, that's it. I know that's it. With some books and a gorgeous, vase and greenery, and that was how you're gonna welcome your guests in, and it just created a lively, beautiful home and set the tone.
I also just love how unexpected the door color is.
Yeah, it's great.
It's really, and it's so, it will be able to transition so well with wreaths at holiday time, whatever. It's really, it doesn't lock us into any one particular thing, which I really wanted. And the stair runner too, just like bringing some pattern in. Yeah, and then of course in the entryway we have, so one of my favorite designers is Tory Burch and a dear friend, and so it's really great to be able to take one of her scarves, which has those amazing scarabs on it, and to frame it. Prudence had this amazing idea to frame it, and it's so long and really is just perfect for that space. So it's nice to bring in a little color and a mix of prints in that way as well.
Absolutely, it's so unique. It's just, I think, really reflects who you all are as a family and what you want your home to represent when first people walk in. So yeah, it's been fun. And that frame is amazing on that scarf.
Yes, it's amazing. So the high gloss, it's interesting, like a lot of people admire high gloss, and myself before this project included, but they don't really know what it entails to use it. And especially if you have an older home with either a lot of coats of paint or, a lot of time has gone by before people have really perfected the surfaces, it's tricky to do high gloss. So it's like, how many coats did they end up having to do?
Well, if high gloss done correctly can be up to about 5 coats, and in between they sand through each coat. But the problem with high gloss is that it shows every imperfection. It's like kind of going to the fitting room and you feel really good, and then you get in there and you're like, oh my God,
lighting.
You're like, whoa, didn't even know that was existing. So high gloss does that, shows every imperfection that you could have. But the charm about the front door is that it does have a lot of nicks. It's an old front door. It's had a lot of paint, and paint built up over time. So even though the high gloss shows some of those imperfections, it's in a charming way for the front door, and so it really, really worked. And these painters were incredible, and so they gave it the best that they could give it, so it came out really